Hey friend, welcome back to another episode of Ash to Dusk. I'm Ashley Morena and I'm really glad you're here. If you're new, welcome to our cozy corner. And if you've been here for a while, thank you for coming back. It means more than you know. Today's episode is a little different, but in a good way. This isn't a goodbye to any of the work I've been doing. I'm not walking away from anything. This is a clarity episode. I've been building behind the scenes and I want to explain what's changing and what's staying the same and what's coming next in a way that feels simple and honestly relieving. So take a breath with me. If you've been feeling like you're ready for more, not more on your plate, but more in your life, this episode is for you. Here's the thing, you get things done. People count on you. You show up even when you're tired. But underneath all of that, you're craving something deeper, more confidence, more clarity, more wellness that fits real life, more purpose, more support. For my school nutrition friends who follow along, I want you to hear this. You are one of the most resilient, hardworking, overlooked people that I know. But what we talk about here isn't only for school nutrition professionals. This is for you if you've been quietly thinking, I know I'm meant for more. And maybe you don't even know what more looks like yet. You just know you don't want to stay stuck where you are. If that's you, keep listening. Here's the simplest way I can explain what's happening. I've been thinking of this shift like moving into a new cozy home. It feels familiar yet brand new. One room is Project School Nutrition, one room is Ash to Dusk, and I'm building more rooms that support the kind of growth I know you're craving right now. Think of this space as a digital gym where you strengthen your mind and build a life you always dreamed of. So, what's changing is not the heart of the work that I do or what my team does. What's changing is that I'm organizing it more clearly so you always know exactly where to go depending on what you need. And I want to say this clearly because I know it matters to you. Project School Nutrition is still its own thing. PSN will have its own website, its own social media, and PSN will continue serving school districts the way we always have. So, no, PSN is not going away. This is an expansion, not a disappearance. And if I'm being honest, I know it can feel a little weird to even explain this out loud, but the goal is pretty simple. I want it to be easier for you to follow along. Less confusion, less chasing things around the internet, more clarity. So let's start with the PSN room. Project School Nutrition exists because I believe school nutrition is one of the most powerful ways we can support student wellness, learning, and community health. This work is bigger than menus, it's bigger than compliance, it's bigger than just lunch. Because when school nutrition is strong, a community is stronger. And I'm proud of what we've done through PSN. We've helped school districts across the country. We've supported districts as they successfully passed administrative reviews. We've helped teams build confidence and pride in their work. We've helped grow leaders, women stepping into manager and director roles who may never had the chance otherwise. Building leaders might be the most rewarding thing I will ever do in this lifetime. And we've helped schools increase access to more local foods and more scratch made meals. And I want you to hear this part because it matters. The health and wellness of students is directly connected to the school nutrition professionals serving them. When you are supported, trained, and confident, it changes the culture. It changes the program. It changes what students experience every single day. So PSN stays focused on districts and community impact. That room stays exactly where it is, and we're continuing to grow it. Now, let's talk about the Ash to Dusk room. Ash to Dusk is where you and I talk about real life, confidence, overwhelm, identity, dreams, motherhood, stress, career, health, or what I like to call the messy middle of life. Ash to Dusk represents the beginning and the end of each day and the life that happens in between. It's the room you step into when you need an exhale, a mindset reset, and a reminder that you're not alone. And the reason I'm organizing things like a home with rooms is because I realize something. No matter the job title you hold or role you have in this life, you're still carrying a lot and you still want to feel better. You still want to grow. You still want to become her. So Ash to Dusk stays as a room in the home, and I'm also building more ways to support your growth. Now, I want to make this personal because this isn't just a structure update, it's a transformation story. Before the consulting business, before keynote speaking, before this podcast, I was working as a receptionist and assistant to the previous food service director. And if you go back to earlier episodes of this podcast, I explain more about that journey. And from the seat of a receptionist, I could see it. I could see the impact the role could make. I could see what could be better. I could see what leadership could change. And I knew I was meant for more. So when the opportunity came to step into the food service director role, I said yes. I said yes because I believed I could do it. I was excited. I felt honored. I wanted to make a difference. But here's what happened. The moment I said yes, imposter syndrome showed up. It got loud. The thoughts started coming in like, who do you think you are? What if you fail? What if you can't handle it? You don't have a degree. And if you ever said yes to something big and then immediately felt terrified, I need you to know you're not alone. Sometimes the fear doesn't show up until after you step forward. And then life got harder for me. My first year as a food service director, I qualified for reduced priced school meals for my kids. And I'm saying that out loud because I want you to hear this. A title doesn't always equal financial security. A title doesn't always mean your life is easy. I couldn't pay my bills and put food on the table the way I needed to. And I was also going through a divorce at that time. So I was leading, showing up, trying to be strong on the outside while privately carrying stress that most people never saw. If you're in a season where the numbers don't match the responsibility, I see you. If you're doing your best and it still feels hard, you're not failing, you're building. What kept me going was impact. It was the students, it was the families, it was the community. It was knowing that my team and I were doing something that mattered. Over time, we built self-sustaining programs. We implemented innovative menus. We strengthened systems. We did the hard work. And a few years in, something happened that changed everything for me. I started getting calls from other directors asking for help. And that's when I realized my impact could go beyond just one community. It could grow much further. That's the seed of everything you see today. I went from being a student worker to a receptionist, to stepping into leadership, to walking through hard seasons, to building a program, to building a consulting business, to growing a team, to building something that became a multi-six-figure business, and now working towards 7 figures. And I'm not sharing that to impress you. I'm sharing it because I want you to believe this. If I can build from a hard season, you can too. If I can keep going when it felt heavy, you can too, my friend. And if I can take one step when I didn't have a perfect plan, you can too. You don't need the whole staircase. You need the first step. One of the things I'm proudest of through PSN is how we've helped women grow. We've helped women who may never have gotten the chance to become a manager or a director step into those roles. And there's nothing more rewarding than training up others because someone believed in me and I want to pay that back as many times over as I can. And I also want you to know this. I wouldn't be here without my team. They've been monumental in what we've built. And I especially want to thank my husband, Mike, because there have been seasons that were hard, honestly, that are still hard. Seasons where I couldn't pay business expenses, seasons where the industry felt heavy, seasons where people were unkind. And he has been my rock through and through, or like I like to call my ride or die. If you have someone like that in your corner, hold them close because they are special. And if you don't right now, let this be your reminder that you deserve support while you build, and I'm here for you. The next shift happened when I started doing more one-on-one consulting work. I noticed something when I started sharing my story with directors and teams. It helped them believe in themselves. People kept saying, you need to go speak to crowds. I never thought I would do that. And now here I am 2 years in. I've traveled the country speaking at events and school districts, sharing my story and the vision of what could be if we start believing in ourselves. And what I want you to feel when you listen to me, whether it's on stage or through this podcast, is very simple. You can too. Even when it's rough, even when everything gets thrown at you, testing all of your will and might, If you push through, your dream life can come true. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you become the kind of woman who doesn't quit on herself. Now, let me share what's new because I'm so excited for this. We now have a blog on the website called The Journal. This is where you'll find written reflections, lessons, encouragement, and personal growth content and resources that you can come to at any time. And starting January 7th, we're launching the I Am Wellness Edit. This is weekly wellness resources created and curated by registered dietitians and myself. And this isn't going to be extreme, it's not overwhelming, it's realistic wellness for your real life. The kind of support that helps you build consistency instead of chasing perfection. I know firsthand what it's like to put my health last. From hypertension to a dilated aorta, I know how stress can affect our bodies, and I'm here to change that. This content will live in a blog form and it will also be part of our weekly emails. And I want you to know this too because it matters to me. A big part of this new chapter is making growth accessible to everyone. So, yes, there will always be free resources here for you: the podcast, the journal, the wellness edit, and our weekly emails. Those are meant to be your foundation to just get started. Now, over time throughout this year, there's also going to be options for you to go deeper, things like guided workbooks, curated experiences for women who want more support and structure. But I want you to hear me clearly. No matter where you're starting from, you will always have resources here that fit your season of life and your budget, even if that budget is zero, because I know firsthand what it's like to have two pennies to rub together, if that. And I also want you to hear me. Free doesn't mean low value here. It means you deserve a strong starting point, and I'm all here for it. Okay, friend, if you could do two things for me after this episode, I would so appreciate it. First, subscribe to the podcast. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, hit follow. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe because the podcast is going to be one of the first places you hear announcements and what's coming next. Second, join my email list because email is where I'll talk to you first every Sunday morning. Go to ashleymorena.com to subscribe to my email list, which is my weekly letter to you. It comes out every Sunday morning, and I'm also going to send you a free reset guide as a thank you for subscribing. If you're listening right now and you don't want to remember all of these things, don't worry. I'm going to have everything linked in the show notes for you so that you can refer back to. Social media is wonderful, but it's noisy, it moves fast, and sometimes it prevents us from moving forward. So email is where I can speak directly to you without distractions like a real letter. So if you've been thinking about joining, this is your sign. Go subscribe and sign up for our emails because I don't want you to miss what's coming this year. We have so many awesome things that I know you're going to love. And I have one more reminder before I go. I have a P.O. box now, and I would truly love to hear from you in handwritten form. Send me a postcard, a letter. Tell me where you listen from. Tell me what dream you're working toward. Tell me something you're struggling with or something that you're celebrating so that I can be a part of that with you. I read them all. I keep them all. They matter to me. I will also add the P.O. box information in the show notes. But my friend, I hope this episode reminded you of something. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take the first step. The life you want starts with I am. And until I see you next time, my friend, keep your light burning from ash to dusk.